Indiana is recognized for as much time as she wishes to use.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, and I want to thank the distinguished gentleman from Florida and his subcommittee chairman, Mr. Runyon, for bringing up this important piece of legislation today, Senate 1471. Mr. Speaker, during this season of Christmas, we seek to surround ourselves with our family and our friends to give thanks for the blessings in our life. But unfortunately, one family from my district will be spending yet another season without their wife, without their mother, without their daughter-in-law because of a senseless act of violence that took place at an apartment complex in Indianapolis, Indiana on May 30th, 2012. On that date, Michael Anderson, a deranged Army veteran, went on a shooting rampage that took the life of Alicia Koehl, who was an apartment complex manager. After taking her life, he also severely injured 3 others. Mr. Anderson shot Alicia 13 times before taking his own life. Alicia's killing left a hole in communities throughout Indiana. She was not only a mother of 2 young children and a loving wife, she was a Girl Scout leader, Volunteer of the Year at Spring Mill Elementary School, and an active member of her church. Paul Koehl, Alicia's husband, provided testimony to the House Veterans Affairs Committee that Alicia was the glue that held our family together. He continued her motto in life was live, laugh, and love, and that the saying could be found in almost every room of their home. He finally relayed her contagious optimism by telling that her smile and gentle nature never failed to light up a room. So it's no wonder that her passing triggered an outpouring of sympathy throughout our state, candlelight vigils being held in our own Indianapolis City Council, formally memorializing her as someone whose very presence in our community was a stabilizing influence which lends a sense of purpose and direction. Mr. Speaker, you can only imagine the indignation when in the midst of their grief, family and friends found out that the killer of Alicia was allowed burial in a national cemetery with full military honors. This is in spite of a federal law explicitly forbidding the Department of Veterans Affairs from interring anyone who has committed a capital crime, including those never formally convicted. At the request of Alicia's friends, Senator Coates and I began working on this case to rectify the mistake made by our National Cemeteries Association. The NCA informed us that they lacked the authority to disinter Michael Anderson, or the ability to rectify their horrific mistake if something like this should even happen again. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. I'm outraged not only that the Koehl family has had to endure yet another injustice after Alicia's life was needlessly cut short, but also that our brave servicemen and women who in some cases who have given the ultimate sacrifice to their nation are buried next to a murderous criminal. The legislation before the House today will simply give the Department of Veterans Affairs the ability to reconsider internment of veterans who lost their privilege of internment in our national cemeteries by committing a capital offense. Our nation's cemeteries shouldn't be tarnished because of a legislative technicality, and the bill before us will close this loophole. Our bravest men and women should be buried next to fellow heroes, and today we can make sure they always are. So I'm proud to be a sponsor of the House version of this bill that garnered the support of all Hoosier representatives, and I want to thank them for coming together in a bicameral and bipartisan way to get behind this meaningful and important piece of legislation. I want to encourage all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle and thank them for coming together and to give closure to the Koehl family, restore a sense of honor to our national cemeteries, and improve the protocols so an injustice like this can never happen again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
The gentlelady from Indiana yields back her time.